Second round targets for the Vikings, baby. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and we're going to be starting a new little thing up until the draft. We're going to look at every damn round and give you some options to prepare yourself mentally and physically.
And
Guys,
today it's
my take.
And today it's round two. Round two is up. Before you hop in that, be sure to subscribe to the channels. Drop hashtag 7,000 in the comments for your chance to win this. Bam. Hell yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. We're like 100 away, maybe less.
Let's do this. Subs hot and heavy. Let's do it before draft day. Let's get to 7K. Speaking of 7K, let's talk about round two.
Let's talk about round two and a guy who's going to be making well over 7K next year, and that's wide receiver Christian Watson from Ndsu. This guy, you see him a lot going into the ass end of round one. I hate when he gets mocked to the Packers, but look at that size. You look at his speed. The only thing I think that could actually push him to make him available for the Vikings at pick 46 is that he comes from a small school, may not have faced the level of competition that some of these other receivers have, and is also a very deep and very talented wide receiver class. So if he's there at 46, it's a secondary need of the Vikings, one they don't have to hit up if they don't want to, but the value could be just too damn good to pass up there.
Talk about a boom or bust type pick. He could be fantastic. That size and speed, pairing him up with an aging Adam Thielen and Jefferson gets my blood pumping.
Hell yeah.
Pump. He's going to be a wild card. He's a guy that could go, all of a sudden he just goes like pick 20. I mean, not 20, but just somewhere in the middle of round one. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see it. It just, teams are going to fall in love with these guys.
All right. So, and just so we're on the same page, my guys, that doesn't necessarily mean I want them. I just think these are guys that have been kind of floated around the Vikings. That'll probably be round two options. And this man is Cair Elam. Look at that. Look at that beast. Everybody's going to love his size. They're going to love his speed. 6'2", 4'2", 3'9", 40. I mean, everything on paper screams that he is going to be fantastic, and he might be damn fantastic. And the way I see this shaking down is the Vikings actually miss on a cornerback in round one. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than getting him in round two, because kind of like Watson, he's like Boomer, but he can be fantastic, and he is a day one plug and play.
The thing I love about Cair Elam is his length. I mean, he's got long ass arms, long legs. I mean, he can go up, he can high point the ball, knock it down, and that's some of these corners are a little more compact built. Cair Elam is definitely built to play on the outside. Not a big tackler though, not going to help a lot in run support, but if he can shut down a number one or number two receiver for a team, that's huge value. Yeah,
and he's got swag too. He knows he's good. He shows it. And really, any can be said for really any of these round two cornerbacks. The Vikings missing a corner in round one. There's going to be some good options there.
Hopefully there's not just like a deep run in the ass end of round one that eliminates a lot of these corner options. Definitely be scary. But I'm going to talk about a guy who's not a corner right now. I'm talking about interior defensive tackle, my boy, Travis Jones. Jordan Davis has been an option for the Vikings at pick 12. If they don't go Jordan Davis at 12, Travis Jones is one hell of a consolation prize in the second round. He's massive. He's quick. He can eat up running lanes. He can plug those things up. He can create interior pressure. Look at the 8.5 career sacks, 19 tackles for a loss. I love that about Travis Jones. I've said this before. I don't think the gap between him and Jordan Davis is huge. If you don't get Jordan Davis round one, Travis Jones is a hell of an option. And I think a very realistic option for the Vikings in round two.
He is a space eater who is also athletic. What else could you ask for?
Not much.
All right. I'm going Drake Jackson from USC. Edge rusher. This guy has been round two, round three, but I think his stock is rising quite a damn bit. Everything you read about him, explosive, athletic, effort. He's slippery smooth. And I just think that Drake Jackson is a guy that is just kind of getting buried based off of how good some of these other edge rushers are. I think any other year, he is an easy early round two, maybe even round one guy. So Drake Jackson, I would love for the Minnesota Vikings to snap him up. I've really grown on him. And like I said, he's just getting buried with these other edge rushers. It's kind of like Little League when Lupagus was he was a good pitcher, but I was just a better one. So he didn't look as good. He didn't get enough credit.
No, you just took the ball away and go pitch, and then we'd lose.
Yeah, won a couple games.
Yeah, I mean, the edge position is one I think a lot of Vikings fans may be overlooking. It's definitely an option. They can go round one, and if they don't do it round one, round two, it's a premium position in the NFL. You're running 3-4 front. You got to have guys who can rush the passer. So Vikings could definitely address that need early in the draft this year.
Yeah, his big thing's his weight. Everybody's all on his weight. Oh, he needs to get bigger. He'd be much better if he's bigger. I think at the combine was like 250 or something, 255. So it'll be interesting to see what he actually plays at.
I've been told I'd be much better if I was bigger as well. Let's go with another cornerback option. Sugar Beans McCreary, Roger McCreary from Auburn. The thing that I think could push this guy into round two is just his overall size. He's 5'11", doesn't have the longest arms in the world. He ran a 4.5 40. So you look at some of these other corners who are bigger, faster. McCreary, I love that he's in the SEC, battle tested against awesome competition every single week. You look at his overall 6 interceptions, 135 tackles. So this is definitely the opposite of Cair Elam, a guy who's going to come up. He's going to help in run support. And what does he actually have? I love the stat about him.
He has 1 sack. He has 1 sack, just like you and I.
10 tackles for a loss. It shows that he comes up. He can actually make plays behind the line of scrimmage. 30 pass breakups in his career. So Sugar Beans McCreary, that's what he does. He eats a plate of beans the night before a game, loads a bunch of sugar on him. That's just amazing. Roger McCreary, definitely an option for the Vikings in round two. If they don't go corner round one, or maybe if they want to double up, you get 2 guys.
Well, if they take McDuffie in round one, they're definitely going to stay away from Sugar Beans.
I would think so.
2 little guys.
I don't need 2 little guys, no.
All right, my final one, and as always, comments who you would like to see in round 2 or who you think might be an option. This one might not be overly popular. I know Lupagus won't like it, but I'm going Trey McBride, tight end. I think like you said, edge rusher. I think tight ends being a little overlooked, especially in the early rounds. The guy's a pass catcher. He is he's not going to wow you with his athletic ability by any means, but the fact is when he gets on the field, he produces. Look at what he's done, and look at in the past when we've taken tight ends, when we've taken Irv Smith, when we took Kyle Rudolph, we had a guy already there. So adding another pass catcher to this team as early as round 2 isn't crazy. I know there's some athletic tight ends still in this draft, but he is the safest and a guy that could produce day one.
Yeah, definitely a route they could go. What I don't like about it, there's just so many tight ends this year that I like that I think are all kind of bunched in that round 2 to around, even in the round 5 range. So many options. So I don't know if it's something you have to hit in round 2, but if they think he's the best player on the board, you can't trust Irv Smith Jr. to stay healthy.
His final year too, final year of his contract.
And you got Johnny Munt. And there's definitely going to be a Munt watch every post game. Post game, but yeah, it's an option. And to me, I think there's just so many of these tight ends that are very equally rated in my opinion. But Vikings could definitely see Trey McBride as the top option, and it could be definitely an option for 46. And I think the value is there.
Well, the thing that seems to be very clear is Trey McBride is the top tight end in this draft. And the reason it gets so murky is because this tight end class is so bad. This is a bad tight end class. There's some guys with some upside and stuff, but when you look at it and compare it and hear what the draft experts are saying, they're not nice to this tight end class.
Which is weird because it's actually one of my more favorite tight end classes in years.
Well, I guess you could pick a bone with the smarter guys.
But I did like Martin Rucker quite a bit a couple years ago.
Those are our 6 guys. Let us know in the comments who you want. Maybe none of these guys. Maybe there's a different guy. Also remember #7000. And we'll be back later.
And I just learned this from our good friend Ellis Greger today. He told me this. He said, if you were to make homemade Worcestershire sauce, you a fan of Worcestershire sauce?
I am at a very minimal amount.
You would need 18 ingredients, including jalapenos and anchovies, and 5 months to let it ferment.
5 Johnny months?
5 months.